few months ago, I made the decision to jump in head first, get rid of my truck, and build myself a motocross van. Now, I put a lot of thought into different build options. What should I prioritize? What is a nice to have versus what is a need to have? Although I'm still very early in the stages of the design, I decided I was going to pick up one of the nice to haves.
What is up, everyone? Mitch here with Fit4moto. Welcome to my channel. As you can see behind me here, I have an empty van. Now this is a 2020 Transit van, medium length, medium roof, that we're going to be building into a new Moto van, so be sure to check out my van build series. But today's video is all about the Risk Racing Lock and Load Pro. It's a moto transport system that you don't need tie downs, you don't need hooks, you don't need anything. We're going to install it in this thing. I'm going to give you my thoughts. I'm going to review it, let you know what I think. As well, we're going to compare it to some other systems, see what the other options are out there. This thing is a little more pricey than buying a set of tie downs, so it's good to know what you're getting yourself into. With all that in mind, let's do this.
I thought it would be great to have a system so easy to use that in the event I was hurt, even my lovely wife could load my bike if she had to. Enter the Risk Racing Transport System. Now, I probably know what you're thinking, because frankly I was thinking the same thing. That's a lot of money considering good old-fashioned tie downs only cost around $20. What about the installation? How much of a headache is that going to be? With the goal in mind of simplicity and the ease of loading and unloading, I searched out various options ranging from nicer tie downs and wheel chocks to full-on rail systems. Looking at the other options, they all involved some level of installation, and I figured if I had to drill holes in my new van, I might as well swing for the fences. So I ended up settling on the lock and load because of the creative genius behind it. The ability to have a low profile plate when you need extra space, as well as roll your bike in, push the tabs down, ratchet the hooks down, was attractive to me. And let's face it, it looks pretty Gucci. Now, I didn't know anybody personally that had one, never actually even seen one, so spending this much money was a bit of a gamble. But if the packaging does anything for you, then we're off to a good start. Immediately, the entire system felt like it was built of high quality metals. It didn't feel flimsy or lightweight, and it didn't feel like it was going to break. In order to mount this system, you'll need a few tools: a drill with drill bits suitable for metal, an Allen bit head, a 10mm socket or wrench, a tape measure, and a marker. Get your bike into a position where it would normally sit, and then find the high points on the ribs. Initially, I tried to find the high spots through the flooring that I had installed from the factory, but it ended up being too painful, so I just lifted up the flooring to give me a clear idea of what I was looking at. It comes with 4 bolts, which, to be honest, made me a little nervous. They're not overly big, and I felt like a 230-pound machine swinging back and forth might not have the support that it needs. Nonetheless, I figured they must work. So, obstacle number 1 on the van. Now, I didn't think about this at the time because I have to mount my bike in on an angle so that it actually fits back here. The ribs are only in certain places, and I couldn't use the second rib from the wheel well because that's actually where the actual frame of the vehicle sits, so there's no good in trying to drill through that and put a nut on the end. So I had to lift the floor up and try and find a spot, tinker with this lower plate to actually get some holes that'll line up that I can drill through and actually drop some bolts in. I didn't see that coming. Nonetheless, it looks like I've got 4 bolts now, which is what it comes with, that I can drop in there, screw some holes in, and have the bike held down. So I'm gonna drill them and see what happens. Although it worked, keep that in mind if you have a shorter truck bed. Once I found 4 bolts that lined up and looked like it was going to work, I got to making holes. Now, I did buy a new drill bit set specifically for this job. It's a Milwaukee set, it was on sale. But importantly, they're titanium coated, which means they're going to be good for drilling through this metal. Now, I am a little bit hesitant to drill holes in my brand new van. But you know what they say, no guts, no glory. The plan is to drill a pilot hole and then drill a bigger hole. My pilot hole is going to be to allow me to drill faster with a larger bit, so it's not so difficult. But the larger bit is going to fit the actual bolt that it comes with. Of course, the camera won't zoom, and we'll see if we can't get this thing mounted. I do want to stress that I measured and remeasured numerous times, so I wasn't just drilling holes in the floor. Also, another consideration is making sure that you're not going to hit any wires or hydraulic cables underneath. Then it was just a matter of drilling holes through the rubber flooring to match the holes that I drilled through the metal. Once all of that was done, actually mounting the system was pretty straightforward. Drop the bolts in and tighten them down. Now with it mounted, it was time to see if I actually mounted it in the right spot. Just as I had hoped, loading and unloading the bike was a breeze. The system's pretty slick and it works exactly like they advertised. Once it's in place, it feels pretty secure. Installation was only a few hours and turned out to be really easy. Because of my paranoia, I decided to do a road test and see if I needed to add more bolts. As it turns out, the system is secure and you can transport your bike worry-free. It's so easy to use that I wasn't even thinking about the price. And yes, my wife can load it and lock it down.
All in all, pretty easy to install, even easier to use. Big shout out to Risk Racing for their Lock and Load Pro and such a creative idea on a way to transport your bike. Now, I'm going to put a link in the description below if this is something that you guys are actually interested in. I hope the video helped you. I hope maybe it shed some light on the decision that you're trying to make like me. If so, smash that subscribe button for me. Stay safe, ride safe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.